Hello everybody, welcome back to Creating Hanley. My name is Kimberly at Creating Hanley, and in today's episode I'm going to tell you how I made this scrappy heart-shaped quilt block for our sew along for February. I know it's a little late in the month, I realize that, but this will make a 9.5-inch square quilt block. Now I put this header and footer on, and once you do that, you can trim it up and it becomes a 9.5-inch quilt block. So see, there's like extra at the bottom and extra at the top. So I put the header and footer on, and yeah, if you do everything on here, you'll get a 9.5-inch. You might have to add like a little extra on the side to get, depending on how you trim and cut and all that stuff, to get a true 9.5-inch block. However, let me just start. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Kimberly at Creating Hanley, and in today's episode, I'm going to try to give you a tutorial without actually doing all the sewing. So this is very scrappy, as you can see. Now, I made one mistake, and I used the same piece twice. This one and this one. Other than that, everything else is a completely different type of fabric except the background. Not a different type, a different color. It's all scrappy. Everything in here is scrappy. Now, I used 32 2.5-inch blocks. So, let me show you. Right down here, I cut 32 2.5-inch blocks. So you can see my big old stack right here. 2.5-inch blocks. These are all the colors in here. Actually, this is more. So there's a bunch that I didn't use, like all of these. So basically what you do is you make a bunch of half square triangles. So these are all half square triangles. You do not have to cut out little triangles and then sew them all together. What we are making is half square triangles. So cut your however many you want to use. I just happen to have this many, but that many, scrap pieces of fabric. Actually, they weren't scrap. Some of them I cut out of yardage. Like I cut a 2.5-inch square out of yardage, but whatever. Some I used fat quarters. Some I had just like scraps around. None were a jelly roll, but whatever you have around, just use that. And then I did buy yardage for the background. So this little yellowish kind of cream colored on white for the background, because I wanted something kind of, very neutral in the back so that the heart would pop. So, the heart for Valentine's, February, for Women's Heart Health Month. You don't have to make it this scrappy, but this is the way I really wanted to make a heart in half square triangles. So that's what I did. So cut your 2.5-inch squares. Now, again, I used 32 different types of scraps. So I cut 32 2.5-inch squares. Now, for the sides here, you can see these are also half square triangles. There are 12 all the way around this heart. Now, normally, so here's something else I did that was a little bit different. Normally, the heart you see in like patterns and stuff don't have this triangle or the outside. See, I ironed it. So normally the heart is like this. It's just flat sides. Like that is the heart that you guys normally see, right? But I was going to make that. I almost made that. And then I kind of experimented with a couple of these little half square, triangles. And I was like, what if I put 2 on the end, on the sides to make it, because the shape of a heart goes kind of out and then in. It doesn't go out and then down and then in, right? So I was like, well, I'm just doing points everywhere. So why don't I just continue the point out and then in? So that's what I did. So that's what I came up with. So you have 12 of these half square triangles with the background fabric, and then you have 20 solids on the inside. So you have 20 half square triangles on the inside. So let's take a look at this. So here's a half square triangle with the background. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there's 12. So you need 12 so that you pair one of these and your 2.5-inch backgrounds. And then you make your half square triangle. And I'll show you how to do that. If you're brand new to the channel and you don't know how to make a half square triangle, let's do that. And then you're going to have 20 of just the colors without the background. So you're going to have like 20 of these. Okay. So, and then whatever border you want on the outside of that, go ahead and you know, cut your border for that. Now, these trim down to 2. So where's my trimmed ones? Oh, I had them all set up right here, ready to go. Oh. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. So here's an untrimmed 2.5-inch, and then this is a trimmed from the these. Oh my gosh, I can't think, I can't talk. So it trims down to 2 inches square. So you start with a 2.5-inch block, you make your half square triangle. It's all funky like this, and then you trim it up to 2 inches square. And then your 2 inches square becomes probably 1.5. I'm sure these are 1.5 inches square in here. You know, sewn in. Wow. I need a script. Okay. Let's get into it. So, if I take, here's my background. So if I take a colored piece, 2.5-inch block, and my background 2.5-inch block, I place the right sides together. I'm going to use the light side to draw. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't have a cold. My throat is just dry, I think, from talking. Okay, so I draw a line, straight line from corner to corner. And that is the line that I'm going to use as my cut line. I'm sorry. I take it over to the machine. Now, if you want to, you can draw a line that's 1/4 inch away. So that is your sew line. You can draw a sew line 1/4 inch away. If you wanted to take the time to do that, you can. I don't. I just use the marks on my presser foot. So you come in. If you want to, because this is a corner, you can start with your leader. Come down, sew 1/4 inch away from the middle line or directly on the 1/4 inch line that you sewed. You don't need to cut your fabric. And this is also a nice way to do your chain piecing. Oh, I forgot what that was. Guys, I can't think. Oh my gosh. Menopause sucks. Can't think. So, take your scissors or your rotary cutter and just cut on that middle line. And then you open it up, and now I have my background here and a piece right here. So this would be along the outside. So I've just created that along the outside. Okay? You want to do that 12 times. It doesn't matter what kind of fabric you have. You don't even have to use pink and reds and whatever. You can use whatever colors you want. I just happen to have these colors. So, yeah, you want to do that 12 times or at least 6 times. If you do it 6 times, you're going to have, so like I use the same piece here and here. You can do that. You can do that here too. Wait, it would go like this and then up there. Okay. Oh my gosh. Time for me to get off this thing. Anyway, line it all up into however design you want and then sew it all together. So what I did is I sewed these two together and then I sewed the row together. And then I sewed these two together and then I sewed the row together. These two and then these two. And then I made that, and because I was only going to do the thing like that, the heart like that, I didn't put these on the edges. And so you can see how this is constructed a little bit differently. I put those on after I did this middle piece, and then I put these on the sides. And then I liked that, and that worked for me. And then I put the header and footer on, and then you trim it up, and that's going to be a 9.5-inch square. Oh my gosh, guys. I know this was crazy, and I really just wanted to get a video on very quickly. This took me weeks to do. It's not going to take you weeks, but I was just trying to figure stuff out, and of course I wasn't sitting here for, weeks on end just trying to figure this out. But yeah, I started on a different type of heart, and I just couldn't, my brain wasn't functioning, so I just couldn't figure it out. And then I was like, I just want to do half square triangles and see how this goes. And I think it worked out okay. You can actually see, like, I did the darks and the lights to kind of make little diamonds in here. So here's a light diamond, here's a dark diamond, here's a dark diamond. So there's like 4 dark diamonds and 1 light diamond in the middle. So you can kind of play, and you could even made these diamonds too if you wanted to. So, or this one as well. So you could play with this. Look at your fabric, see what you have. And then just be creative. Come up with something that really works for you. So that's what I did. 2.5-inch squares. And then on these corners, your 2.5-inch square is going to be way too big. So you can cut 2-inch squares if you want to. Now this one is like a double 2-inch square. So you probably only need 3 inches here. Yeah, because this shrinks down with the seam allowances. So you can measure it. Let's see. Or I can measure it for you. 1, 3. Yeah, so it's going to be 3.5 inches instead of 4. So you can cut a 2.5 or 2-inch wide by 3.5 inch. And that will pair with these. But I've just been using all 2.5 inches, and I just trimmed it up as I needed to go. So there you go, guys. All right, have fun making this. And I wanted to make more hearts. I'm running out of month, February. I may still make more hearts, but we're going into March, and I definitely want to make probably a 4-leaf clover for March. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I know this is a weird video today, and I do apologize, but I just wanted to get up something really fast. So I'll try to do better next time. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.